Oh, that was kind of cool.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to the Doomsday Roundtable. Hope you can join us. If you don't, you'll be able to see us on YouTube and links here, links there, links everywhere. But if you can join us, please join in the conversation. Today we're talking about what kind of skills you think you might need to survive after, the shit hits the fan. But you might want to think about also those skills you would want to survive beforehand.
Well, yeah.
Like the heads up of, hey, is the shit hitting the fan?
I've heard that so many times. I think it's actually hitting the fan now.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a connection fit. You've heard of it, but you've never seen one.
Right. Yeah. Connection fit. That's a good one. Well, yeah. So last week we talked about killing people.
Yes.
This week we're talking about skilling people.
That's right.
That's
Killing
right.
people, skilling people.
Yeah, we're talking about getting people skilled up.
Or last week, you
That whole
might.
rhyme thing was ill.
It was illin.
It was Ellen.
Yeah, I'm glad you were filling
Oh,
how
here.
illin
Here, wait, stop.
it was.
Okay, first survival skill.
Okay, and we're all white, so we got
Right,
that
yeah,
figured out
that's
real quick.
definitely established.
Look out for
Yes,
bad
thank you.
puns. That's the first sign of apocalypse.
Right.
Yeah.
And the bad puns start flying.
Okay, so we have different kinds of skills, right? There's groups of different kinds of skills, right?
Right.
So I guess you were alluding to a skill set that everyone should have, and it's just and it's more important now in the current climate of our nation right now. Anyway,
Well, I think of the world. I think it's fair to say the world.
Yeah, fair to say the world, where just being aware of your surroundings, and of course the big word is situational awareness.
Right.
And
Which is something that I don't think a lot of people have now, because how many times have you walked by the drones of zombies with their phones in their faces?
yeah,
And they're just going on and on. And I mean, dude sets a bomb in a bag right next to them, and they just like this with the phone in their hand.
yeah, you might want to look away from your phone once in a while, unless you're watching our show.
Once in a while, unless of course
if
you're being
if you're watching our show, then stare at the phone nonstop. But no, but seriously, yeah, I mean that's the truth. I mean,
Chris over killing people. You just stare at your phone.
Yeah, it makes it easier for us.
that's right. It does make it. Yeah, it does.
No.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I mean,
Right. I mean,
everybody is so connected now all the time, and there's always a chime or an alarm or a beep or something going off on your phone for you to look at. So you got to be careful with that for sure. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a big problem in the current.
It is, because you think, okay, so nowadays we have terrorist activity, we've got lunatics, we've got people. I mean,
Right.
and it's not just that. It's just, I mean, you walk in the movie theater, it's summertime, see a guy in a trench coat, and he's got strange bulges in his coat. Perhaps you should leave the theater. Or engage him if you're ballsy enough to, and say, hey, man, how you doing?
Yeah, maybe.
That was call them off.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
They came in here mad and angry because nobody ever talks to them. And
Yeah, now everybody's talking to me.
and they're like, hey, man, how you doing? You cold?
Apparently.
I like that coat. I really dig that coat.
95 degrees outside. Why are you so
Right.
cold?
So,
They always say it's cold in the theater.
I mean, somebody like me, I'm twisted, so I'll engage people, and I'll be like, hey, man, how goes it? Doing all right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like some of the patients that are draws.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But then if you don't have that desire, that want, need, or desire to engage them, but there's something up with this dude.
Right. Yeah.
Get the hell out of there.
Yeah. And the other thing is, we're not just talking about madmen and crazy terrorist people and things like that, but I can't tell you how many times I've seen people crossing the street and they never look away from their phone. You got to be aware that there are vehicles out there.
Like me, ramming speed.
Ramming speed, yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's other reasons to be aware. I saw a person the other day, not that long ago. I mean, trip on the curb because they didn't step up, when they were.
That made me.
I don't need a phone to do that.
I would be
Oh, yeah,
laughing. I'd be like crash because I'm like.
Hey, are you okay? Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's true, Jim. Though I don't need it. I trip over my feet all the time. So yeah, I mean, just being aware, knowing what's going on around you. I'm going to tell a little bit of a story that kind of, it's not really a story, but just I knew a person, and it kind of weirded me out because she, I guess, is just either naive or was naive or just very, very trusting. But I used to work with a lady who got robbed right outside of the mall one time, and she was. I mean, it was in the evening. It was getting dark, all that kind of stuff. But these people, there was like 3 or 4 people, 3 or 4 guys, and they had basically just walked around following her almost the entire time she was in the mall, watching her from different places. And she said she saw them. Like she had thought it was weird that she kept running into them and seeing them everywhere. Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah. And then they're following her out to her car, and yeah, I mean, just before she got to her car, they sped up and they got her, and they got her.
Wow.
I mean,
Terrible.
they didn't hurt her, which was great. I mean, but there's threats and all that stuff, but she didn't get hurt or anything. But just the fact that, she could have talked to a security guard, she could have called someone to come and help her or be with her so she wasn't alone. I mean, but she just thought it was, just people that she just ran into in the mall, but they were really literally targeting her the whole time. So you have to kind of.
Or she could be like me and be like, I've been waiting for this moment.
Careful what you wish for if you're stalking somebody.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
It might turn a corner and be your friend real quick.
Right.
So you thought you were just looking at Barbies. No.
It's practice time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's, you definitely got to be careful. And when things seem weird or odd,
trust your gut.
Probably is. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Right.
that's the problem though, is apparently she didn't have
a
that.
gut.
Like she just didn't have that sense,
Well,
to notice when something was
it's interesting
wrong.
because you think so many people are like, oh, you're just being paranoid. You're just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you.
Right. Doesn't mean it's not real.
Right.
Paranoid is a good thing.
Absolutely.
This is exactly what you would say if you were trying to get me.
That's right.
It's a trick, Mikey.
Okay,
There's no reason for it.
that's interesting.
I'm not doing
If
anything.
the
It's the
sound came,
government.
if
It's the
if
CIA.
that noise came through, if that's what was coming through the mic and it made it on here, we're probably being watched. So okay,
It's okay.
it's all right. We're
Working government.
yeah.
It's interesting that your phone is affecting it. Put it right in front of your mouse pad.
Oh, Mikey!
There's some kind of it's a signal.
Mikey has got a bug in his phone.
So what?
They've been listening
Somebody's
to you.
cat.
Mike.
Yeah.
That's
Been listening
exactly
to you.
it.
Situational awareness is due. So when
Look,
you,
let's do it again.
it's got mad control over static. Static man.
Okay, we're just having fun now.
Yeah,
Don't
I
worry
know.
about
Anyway,
us.
sorry.
And
sorry.
by the way, I've got a great story when it comes to phones and bugs, but that'll just give away too many fun things. So catch up to me later when we're not doing this.
Oh God. Don't ask anybody to catch up to you later. Never ask people.
Yeah,
In
maybe
the
not.
world.
Well, I'm not giving out my email address, so we're okay.
Not today. Not today.
Yeah, maybe you can ask
You
the question
can.
later.
What is it? Watershedz.prod or is it just-
Watershed.z.prod.
Yeah, at gmail.com.
Yeah, watershed.z.prod at gmail.com.
Okay, if you got
Something like
a question, maybe I'll answer if you come do that.
Yeah. there
Yeah,
you go.
or you can
Yeah.
always message us.
Or you
on
can message us right now, and then I might
Yeah,
say something.
Facebook and
Yeah, I'll
Or you
I've
can
got a funny
type in the
story
chat
about
for
that.
this live video if you're here.
Yeah.
yeah, you can totally type
All
in
one
the
of us.
chat. Oh, one of us
Which is actually you.
isn't me. I like watching.
Don't you want to ask the question? No.
I do want to ask questions, lots of questions, but yeah. So I mean, okay, so yeah, so if you see the guy on the bus and he leaves the pack, or in the bus station, he leaves the backpack. My personal thing is snatch the backpack up and go, hey man, you left this.
Like you see in the movies.
And if he runs from me,
I put it
Throw
down
the
after that.
bomb at him.
I drop it, scream, run, bomb, while I'm
Yeah.
chasing him and tackle him, because I'm not taking the blame for the bomb.
Right, for real.
I
Yeah.
got a real problem with taking the blame for something I didn't do. So anyway,
Yeah.
so situational awareness, pay attention to where you are, pay
Yes.
attention to what's going on around you. That's the first key to survival.
Well, and also, and not just, again, not just watching people, but also knowing that, like, knowing where the exits are when you're in a building, in case there's
Right.
a fire or something like that. How are you going to get out?
Right.
My dad always said, he insisted on certain things. If we were at a movie theater, he was always the one to sit on the end, no matter what, because if there was any kind of threat, he was going to be the one that was going to
That's what he
take it
told
on.
you.
God, your dad was worse than mine.
That's
Yeah.
what he told you. What he meant was, if it catches on fire, I'm getting out.
All you have to do is run faster than you.
Right. Yeah, that's true too. It's true.
How do you get away from a bear? Just run faster than the other guy.
Right.
Never go hiking alone.
Yeah. But also, like, he always faced the doors in restaurants, like when we sat down to eat.
Yeah, I'm a little psycho like that
Yeah.
too.
Oh, let's watch mafia movies.
Yeah. Well, my dad was born in the 20s, and he was in Chicago.
Okay.
Is that
all
awesome?
right, that's legit then.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he's got
Yeah. So,
experience.
experience.
Like
Yeah.
experience.
My dad in the 30s in Tennessee. I don't think it matters. Really in the hills of Tennessee.
You're rolling with the static again, babe.
There's definitely things just to kind of be aware of. Just knowing how to get out of a place, knowing what to do in case of a fire, knowing what to do in case of an assault on the building of some kind, where to go, where to hide, that kind of stuff.
And I read an article recently on a blog, and I'd asked that individual who writes that blog if it was okay for me to kind of reference it. And I would have read the article here,
Mhm.
but they never answered me. So I will give them credit where credit is due, because one thing that I would have never said after it, but reading their article made me go, yeah, he's absolutely right, is to be self-reliant,
Mhm.
to accept responsibility for you and yourself and your own actions, and basically say, okay, so my reaction to this is what am I going to do? It's not to go, it's his fault, so I'm gonna sit here and wallow until he fixes it.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that, to be able to be assertive, self-reliant, take action, understand the consequences. Every action has an equal opposite reaction type deal.
I think you're just talking about, like, being an adult in a way.
Why do you want to do that?
Being-
It's not like any
being an
fun at
adult
all.
Yeah. I mean,
can be bad.
having to take responsibility for yourself and what you do and the actions you take. And
Well, yes, but I mean, can you picture? Okay, so let's say that the shit hits the fan, and we don't even know how. We don't need to know how.
right.
It's just there's a collapse of society, and everything that goes wrong, that can go wrong, goes wrong.
Right.
But if you're busy laying blame on everything around you, then you're not doing anything to better your situation. If you're busy going, it's this or it's that fault or it's this fault, it
You ain't gonna
can't
last.
be me.
Yeah, you ain't gonna last long if the shit does hit the fan, because nobody's gonna want to be around you and pull your weight.
Right.
Right.
Screw
It
you.
kind of goes
You-
back to our last week.
Right. You may have some.
Do we need to kill that guy?
Yeah, you may have some skills, but your personality
He killed,
sucks.
he killed himself in the middle of the night.
Right.
Stabbed himself, fell on that knife 3 times.
3 times.
Fell on the
Yeah.
No.
Inside
What were
the
we doing?
tent.
We were going to get them wasted and then slit their wrists, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
You get them wasted and slit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrific. But okay, so and speaking of slit wrists, you might want some first aid.
Yes. First aid. Very important.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean,
Really just basic first aid, because you think about it, you're not taking anybody to the hospital at that point.
no. And that's the thing. It's not,
I mean, it might be cool to have an AED and be able to bring somebody,
yeah.
the AED says,
Shockable rhythm.
Shockable rhythm. It might be cool to push the button, but what do you do
What do
after
you do after that?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not doing CPR for 2 hours on somebody in the middle of the woods. So
Right. Then you don't
no other place to go. I'm going to get tired real fast.
I think it kind of depends on who it is.
Well, I mean, it's also depending upon like how far along has.
So I think that you've reached that point in your mind where you're not, okay, say you're out with someone that you truly care about, and I'm not identifying any because I hate to do shit like that, but let's say you're out with somebody you truly care about.
Okay.
And they're not weak. They're not, I'm not talking about, grandpa who's already 85 or 95 years old. I'm talking about, somebody who seems viable.
Right.
And they fall out and you realize they're not breathing. You go to check to see if there's an obstructed airway. There's no obstructed airway. They just fell out on your ass.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be hard not to try.
I'm not saying don't try.
Yeah, I mean, I
Right,
would try.
but here's the thing. How many patients, I'll direct this at you. How many patients have you worked in the field and had them wake up for you?
Oh, well, that's well, less than I've got fingers on one hand.
Right.
And I'm not saying that what we did in the field,
But
we didn't let
right, what I'm saying
a
is
save is what you're looking for.
no, I'm
an
not
actual-
looking for a save because I can save and I'll get the rhythm back. I'll even get a sinus rhythm back and they'll be breathing. But they don't wake up for me. Generally speaking, I think I had 2 that shocked the crap out of me.
Right.
Because they're like, hey man, I mean not that cool, but
Oh, well,
you know,
Dude, that was so cool.
especially if I've had to intubate their ass.
Right.
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
you better snow them a little bit more.
right.
Well, I mean, it depends on where you are. I mean, shoot, I've had them where you swoop and scoop, but the problem is it took you 20 minutes to get there, and the family was doing CPR on the bed. So,
right.
you know,
but I'm saying it's unusual that there's no recovery and aftercare that would need to take place.
yeah.
So even if you have you are pumping and blowing and suddenly you hit that right thing or you have the AED and it says shockable rhythm.
Oh, I heard of one the other day, young guy, younger than us. I can't go into specifics, but he was in the right place, had his event at the right time, sucked to be him
Sure.
because he had a full LAD occlusion.
Oh wow.
And for those of you who want the other term for that, Widowmaker. And fully blocked. Coded. They worked him. Did everything they had to save this ding dong's life. All the procedures were done. And the next day he was talking.
The next day.
Next day.
Right. And they have all the
That was right place, right time.
right place,
Yeah.
right time, right meds, right people, right machines.
Right. Had he done that
In the woods.
in the middle of the woods, there'd have been nothing to work.
Right.
You're
So,
toast.
but there's but I think that there's that thing where you have to go, it's not working. And then you're going to have your mental breakdown. If it's somebody that you truly cared about,
Yeah.
you're going to have a moment of, how come I can't fix this?
Yeah.
But we understand that, and that's kind of more advanced. I think the simple stuff, don't if people need to know not to put a tourniquet on your arm because you got a good gash on your hand. Just stop the bleeding.
Right. Yeah.
Don't tourniquet your arm because you're going to cut your arm off.
Which kind of reminds me, all those people on dialysis are fucked.
Yeah, we've discussed that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Because the tourniquet reminded me, some guy had their port, what is it called?
pick line? Port?
No, pick
No,
line,
it's a port.
thrombo.
Yeah, for the dialysis.
Yeah, and of course you're on thinners and everything else, but yeah, it usually takes 1 or 2 tourniquets to stop that from bleeding.
Mhm.
We had one of those the other day, where we're just
Yeah.
like, damn, dude, yeah.
But I think a basic knowledge, because really
Yeah.
you can't get too fancy out in the world
Yeah.
when there's no backup plan. You are it.
And the thing is that there are good basic first aid kits that you can carry around
Mhm.
in your pocket.
Yep.
So putting it in a backpack, or and even if you're not going to necessarily go and get trained and all that, there are little pocket books, you know,
Yeah, but I think
that give you some kind of
I
something.
think to go and at the very least, take a basic
Yeah.
first aid class. I mean, you know, you've got your medics out there, you got people who are
Right.
more advanced, and that's great. That's absolutely great. I mean, if you want to learn how to do sutures, fantastic. You know, if you want to learn how to do other things, but I'm going to tell you, the skill of intubating somebody, you're not going to be able to put them on a vent anyway.
Yeah.
You know, the skill of
Well, an 8-year-old can intubate. Well, they're strong enough forearms.
right.
As long as they can do this, if they're strong enough to do that, we're okay.
Right. I mean, there's just certain things that, you know, if you recognize certain things like an allergic reaction and you have the appropriate medication, they have the appropriate medication, then you can be exceedingly helpful just with those skills.
Imagine how many allergic reactions will actually, if the shit hit the fan, how many more allergic reactions are going to be when people are scavenging for food, people are looking for stuff to eat.
And that's the next good point.
You know, there are going to be people dropping dead of stuff that they were like, well, they've got no idea. They're more hungry than fear of death.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and it drives you to something.
Right.
And you might have that one last EpiPen that you still got in your pocket that you've been carrying around for 2 years and it's about to expire. But you're allergic to peanuts and that muffin you found, kind of like that's weird. Your phone isn't even doing that one.
Makes me wonder if it's your watch.
Random. I don't know. You got a pacemaker in there or something?
No pacemaker.
Not last time I checked.
Just random.
The last time I checked, my pacemaker didn't do anything.
Maybe a lot of things.
But that comes to another thing, because you're right in that regard, but foraging. To know what you can and cannot eat that you might find in the woods.
Yeah, you'd be able to eat.
Right.
Yep.
And there are, I mean, you can indeed make the acorn. I think it's your watch.
Is it a smartwatch?
Why would it do that today? And
I don't know. It's mean. Oh, it's angry now. Okay, no, it's you. Oh my God, it's
Just today.
it's you.
Just today, though.
Do you want your watch?
Technical difficulties, ladies and gents.
No, it's just some extra noise. They like it. Yeah, they like it.
Like the noise.
I mean, you can make the pine needle tea.
Jim just forged himself a nice watch.
Don't mind me.
Yes. Okay, so we're talking about what you can and cannot eat.
You. It is truly you. You've been like electrified or something. Stop it.
You've been playing in the radio.
Okay, I'm gonna check this out because now it's gonna make me crazy too. Just kind of curious.
He's already tapped on that a couple of times.
Oh, it just blew everything up.
No.
That was
it's just
you.
being sensitive.
Look, it's not me. I'm not electrified. You're electrified.
Yeah, there's gonna be
Electric.
there's gonna be a bunch of people who's, you know, you're foraging food. I mean, we just joked about a pacemaker. Hey, batteries die, man.
Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna really make me crazy, but maybe I should turn the volume down on it.
We're probably picking up a stray signal. Not exactly in a Faraday cage.
It's okay. It's okay.
Maybe Mikey is becoming superhero right before I.
Can you move the camera so we can watch?
Maybe I'm deaf.
You're not deaf.
That was just a thought.
Right, so you know, to think of things like what you might find wild elderberries, those are good for you. But then again, there's another berry that looks just like it that will kill you.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So
That's where you keep that guy around that you don't like. Try it out on them.
Your royal taster.
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Hey guy.
We all,
Any guy who has no skills and complains about everything all the time.
well, we already have a Mikey, but as they would say, you know, Mikey likes it, so we'll try it on Mikey. The old commercials.
Yeah.
He'll eat anything.
Yeah, it would be my luck that Mikey would try it, and Mikey would have absolute. He'd be like, yeah. Later on, he gets a little stick to his stomach. Everybody else in the camp is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got an iron gut. You can handle it all.
Right.
Mhm.
Good point.
I'd be like, great. Okay, so now we know we need situational awareness,
Situational awareness.
personal responsibility.
Personal responsibility.
We need some kind of first aid.
Definitely some first aid.
Somebody to repeat everything that you said. Oh, we got him.
We need
That's what I'm
right.
here
We
for,
need
man.
that. We need that to make it clear. And you want some foraging skills so you don't poison yourself.
Yeah, I mean,
Or mass quantity of EpiPens and Benadryl.
I think that Jim is absolutely right, though. I mean, it seems to me that there is people are allergic to everything now.
Stop talking about me.
So, it's true. I mean, I'm allergic to one of the best antibiotics in the world, so
Right.
that's so good.
I'm
But I
on
mean,
bullshit.
the stuff with
Me too.
peanuts and milk. I mean,
Yeah.
Dairy products.
things. I mean, just think about that. If you were blessed enough to have a nice little farm, you got, to set up with people and you're working it and everything, and then you've got chickens and cows, and you got milk and you got eggs, but you're screwed because you can't eat both. That's like, how long did it
Killed
last?
a cow,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna smoke that meat.
smoke it. Roll
If
it
I
on
can't,
cigarette.
No. Okay. I've got that
Really,
one.
man?
No, I don't. I can't talk about that one. I'll have to tell the story when we're off the air because that one. I've got.
He's killing me, man. He's
All
like,
the good
yeah,
stuff.
I got a good news.
It goes with the old joke about people didn't like being on the nicotine patch because they couldn't keep it lit.
That's a good one.
So it's in regards to another type of patch. And the joke I said the other night was, well, they chewed it because they couldn't keep it lit. Yeah, it was a bad patch to chew. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell that story later.
So anyway.
Okay.
Now
Okay, well then
I'm
that
off
does. Well, no, because you're right. I mean, we were talking about allergies and all that stuff.
Right.
And that's terrible. But we were going through the list, and now we were at foraging and food, basically. Like foraging is a big deal. Okay, what can you find? Scavenging, even.
Right.
Going through and looking for things that you can eat. A lot of the dates that are on foods. I mean, I'm not telling you, not to throw away old stuff, but a lot of those dates.
Best Buy,
The best
sell
buy,
by.
right? Sell by.
Recommendations.
Yeah, you can go way past that with some
absolutely.
foods. So, like ketchup, I found out. I actually called Heinz ketchup one time.
You called them?
I did
I need
because
to
I was
know
having
my ketchup is
I was
okay.
having an argument with somebody about whether to keep it in the fridge or to keep it in the cabinet. And so I asked I called and I talked to the customer service, and the lady told me that they're required to put a date on it,
Right.
but that on average, a bottle of ketchup, or whatever, I have a huge bottle of ketchup in my house, but a bottle of ketchup will generally last 2 years, regardless of what the date says. And if you keep it in the refrigerator, it lasts even longer.
I'm glad I keep mine in the fridge.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that's
I mean,
gross,
we know that expiration dates are put on there for safety, for the companies not to get sued.
well, that's a lot of it. Yeah, I mean, definitely.
Yeah, and
Ain't no expiration date on honey though.
I think
Yeah.
some of it might even be for sales purposes. Meaning,
Oh yeah.
Right,
Oh,
it-
that's bad. You need to buy more.
Right.
exactly. Throw that out.
Yeah,
It's
throw
no
that
good
out
now.
because it's no good.
That honey thing,
Right.
it crystallizes.
It
after a
does,
certain
but you
amount
can
of
heat it
time.
up.
Yeah.
You can
You can reconstitute
You
it.
can reheat.
Right. You can turn it back into honey by what? Adding water or something?
No, you heat it
Yeah,
up.
you just heat it up.
Yeah, it just
And it'll
melts.
decrystallize?
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Good to know.
If
I
it's
mean,
real
when you get-
honey, there's actually processed honey that won't do that for you. But if it's real,
Yeah. I mean, when you got 3,000-year-old honey coming out of the tombs of the Egyptians and you can eat it, pretty impressive.
Well, no, I have a thing of honey that's left by the previous tenant, and
Yeah.
it's a little crystallized, but I understand that honey lasts forever, so I'm like,
It's completely edible.
do I eat it? Do
you
I-
can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
It's not
It
gonna
ain't
I
gonna,
mean,
it ain't gonna hurt you at all.
Right. You can take hot water, like pretty hot water,
Set it up.
and just
Double boil it.
put it in there. I mean, because it's probably in a plastic container.
Yeah, it does.
Right.
Just make a double boiler.
Yeah. So
Okay.
just to heat it up, and it'll work
If
out.
not, you
for you.
make candy. That's what it'll turn into.
Yeah,
if, you
right.
if you overheat it and not watch it long enough, it turns into candy. Candy.
Okay, so
So yes,
we're foraging now. We're scavenging now.
right. So you know what you're looking for, what you can eat, what you can't eat. You know, so
Right.
that you
What
don't-
you're willing to take a chance on.
So even within Boy Scout books, then you're saying the ID what you're looking at.
Yeah.
It
Well,
wouldn't
that's true.
hurt.
Yeah.
It wouldn't
Probably
hurt.
not.
Right.
A little reference guide would probably go a long way.
Yeah. I mean, because who's gonna remember every single thing they can and cannot do out in the woods? I mean, there's certain things you definitely will remember and know.
Right. There are certain,
Right.
and then really
Yeah,
that's
again,
probably
you're
going to work out.
And again, you're not going to want to hang out with that person. It's pretty boring.
Yeah.
That's probably the only thing that one trick pony.
And there are herbalists out there that can cure a whole lot of stuff by the stuff they
Oh, you want the old you want the old Chinese guy then?
Yeah.
taken.
That's the guy you want.
Yeah.
Right.
Racist.
I was about to say, who's going to go up and say I'm racist?
At least you didn't call him Oriental. That's like a thing now. Don't call anything Oriental. That's bad.
Really?
Yeah.
The Oriental's a
PC
rug.
as
It's not a person.
Hmm?
Oriental is a rug, not a person.
Okay. Anyway,
Interesting.
that's
Um,
that's a thing.
Okay, but then we're moving on to like other kinds of food. You know, do you have chickens? Do you have cows? Can you have the ability to support cattle and all that kind of stuff? Those are
Right.
skills that are,
That's something that you're gonna have to be able to defend.
yeah.
So if you have those things,
Well, if you have a group, I mean, that's
Right.
what we're talking about.
Yeah. But I mean-
that's in the bigger groups.
right? If you're in a small group and you need to be able to hunt, forage,
Yes, hunting,
grow some food,
hunting.
hunting. Yes, you should be able to hunt.
You should be able to hunt.
And it's interesting because a lot of people are like, well, I just kill something and then I'll just do, and whatever.
Mhm.
And they have no real skills when it comes to, or no real thought process. Like if you kill an animal,
Mhm.
right, and let's say you gut shot that thing,
Oh yeah, that's gonna be nasty.
you better clean it up pretty quick,
Yeah.
You know.
Roasted meat.
right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that once that certain things are open on these animals,
Mhm.
that it's going to taint the meat, and
Yep.
you got a problem.
Yep.
Well, you just wash it off. Not necessarily, dear.
Now when you don't have refrigeration any longer and all this sort of happy stuff,
Yeah.
Right.
some people can process a carcass pretty fast.
Yeah, and you need to, yeah. But I mean, like squirrel and rabbit, well, I can skin those fast.
Yeah.
Or, just, but,
Yeah, and your belly might be full, but you're still starving.
but you're still starving to death, exactly. So, you're not going to get everything you need out of that. And that's something that you need to know.
Right.
I can go around and pop off all these squirrels and rabbits till the cows come home, but I better have something to accompany
You
it.
better have a cow.
I'm not going to kill the cows. I mean, I might if I can't drink the milk.
One of them.
It's a boy cow.
So you guys have been talking about like survival skills, but what about like rebuilding society type skills? You need, or even like you need somebody that can build. You need somebody that is good with carpentry.
That's where
build
you-
your fences.
That's where you need to know your mechanics and the guys who work on your cars, guys and gals who work on your cars, anybody who's mechanically
No,
inclined like that.
mechanics just know how to make it seem like something else is wrong with your car.
Yeah.
I've met a few that seem to be, they can be pretty
I mean, like your
self-sufficient type
shelters,
dudes.
to really build a good
Yeah.
shelter, you need somebody that knows something about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
have to have a
That's
good engineering brain.
that's why you
Yeah.
kidnap the closest contractor. Sorry, Tim.
What about and what about like you need somebody that's good with people. That it's weird, but you run into another group, you want somebody that's going to be able to talk to them and almost be diplomatic.
Politicians?
No,
No,
absolutely not.
no Trumps. no
Diplomats are better
Hillary,
than
nothing
politicians.
Like that.
Yeah.
Just somebody that can like diffuse a situation.
Right.
Like, hey, you didn't pick up my specimen, or you did, and it was on ice, and well, actually. You
Yeah.
need somebody that can diffuse something. That,
This
they
is how
can
you
arrive.
spell my name.
One good thing is I'm aware that I'm not that guy.
I'm not either, honestly. I mean,
No.
I can come close to it, but I mean, she would have the
Right.
diplomatic skills like that. But and it's good because you also have a limit. You know when to say, well, okay, how about you just eat this bullet?
We're done here.
I try not to make people eat bullets.
Right, but I
Yeah,
mean,
but I would
you know when to
prefer-
stop. You won't let somebody take advantage of whatever group you're in.
No.
Right.
No.
Well, that's the-
You would actually make a good leader.
Thanks.
Not-
I appreciate that. I do.
Eh.
I
Too bad
would
there's-
put him out in front because I'd be like, look how super nice we are. Go
Yeah,
show
that
them.
man on point's the first one to take that
And then
shot.
they'd be like, well, no, we got the other guy that's useless. And it's like in front of him.
Yeah, you know, man.
He's like holding them
I'd
like
be that
this.
silent guy in the back that has the razor blades.
The razor blades.
Razor blades in your teeth. There you go.
Just so I can sneak into your hut at night. That you built really well.
And slit your wrist and call it a suicide.
As long as you've been,
Okay.
you know, get y'all liquored up. Hopefully that's not feeding back too bad on the website.
Take a whole bunch of this aspirin. It's going to make my life easier.
A little blood thinners, why not? Antiplatelets.
Yeah, there you go. That would be funny.
Are you still getting static?
Yeah,
I'm not
a
even
lot of
hearing
it.
that, but I'm deaf.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of it. Sorry about static, guys. I don't know what's going on. Everything's going to change. Next week we'll have better cameras. So it'll be better
Next week
video.
we should be like hooked
Or not
up.
next week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
better
hopefully you've
sound.
noticed too that like we've been doing a little bit
A
of
little decorating.
decorating.
We
and
grow
stuff,
all the
and
time.
I already
Um,
noticed that the sound is a little bit different.
Our
It's recorded
website's going to
because of
change a bit. We've decided to opt out of Patreon. So,
that. Really? Oh, I need to stop paying.
yeah, we're going to opt out of Patreon. We're going to go ahead and put
It just
a
took me
donate
while.
and a membership button on our website. That's not there yet, though. But it is going to go there so that you guys can kind of, if you're enjoying this, and you see that we're making these little improvements, and of course we have more improvements to make,
Mhm.
if you could give us a hand with that, that would be greatly appreciated. We're also going to have, I'm also going to put out a phone number. We're going to have a phone. So in 2 weeks, and I don't have my information with me at all, so I have no idea what we're talking about 2 weeks from now.
That's okay.
But I'm going to go ahead and make it so that you guys can actually call, and we'll just put you on, you know, it'll be one at a time, and we'll just put them on speakerphone, and so we can kind of really include you with the exception of, instead of trying to type away, because I know that there are some people who see us here or see us there, and they don't necessarily know how to interact, especially when we're on YouTube.
I don't know how to do that.
Honestly, I don't either. So, you know, no shame. But most of us know how to dial a phone.
Oh yeah. I can do
So,
that.
yeah, so we're
Oh,
gonna,
hence the first topic we had going on.
right, so we're gonna, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So we're gonna have that.
According to our schedule thingy,
Uh-huh.
it says that it would technically be episode 10, even though it's probably like 9 or 8. We combined a couple.
Right.
It's been said that if the United States suffered an event such as we've been discussing, that up to 90% of Americans would be dead within a year. Why do you think that would be?
Okay.
And then we might be able to combine that with nuclear power plants that exist in the area and
Okay.
some of the.
Okay, so in 2 weeks we'll be talking about why people get bumped off to begin with.
Why did it? Twitter's gone.
Right.
Dude, don't play.
But anyway, that's my kind of my weird little announcement.
Don't make it
I am apologizing basically for the sound issues that we're kind of having right now. I mean, we'll get all that cleaned up for our video, and I think that'll be okay. But, well, for the most part, there's 2 of them, so we can play back and forth. Nevertheless,
It is.
So-
It is a continually growing and improving
Endeavor.
endeavor.
right, and very soon, Break
Very much-
Channel 13
Yeah, very
is
much like
coming
Break
back.
Channel 13. I think like the first couple episodes, if you listen to it, it's like, I don't know. It's not bad. I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
We've never done it before, but at the same time, I think it got better as we went on for sure.
Right.
I would
So,
Absolutely.
cheat my own horn for that.
yeah, and hopefully
Yeah.
season 2 is coming soon.
Season 2 is coming soon, and
And yeah, I think that's
I'm-
I know. I'm actually starting to get a little bit excited about
Yeah.
season 2.
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
Fun, especially knowing what I know now that I didn't know then.
right.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you get better and better, you know. And yeah, so who knew? Who knew all the stuff that we could do?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you take the sound gurus, and you take this, you take that, and we're just like, okay, let's get it all put together and have
And you
fun.
just watch a whole shit ton of YouTube videos to try to figure out how stuff works.
Mm-hmm. Basically, that's what I do.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
what I've been doing. It's like,
I fixed my cars doing that.
Yeah.
I learned my master cylinder that I did.
yeah.
But herein lies a problem.
You better have it.
It's not there
You
anymore.
better have it printed out.
Right.
You better have it printed in some
Yeah.
form
YouTube,
because it'll
to
be
the
gone.
wayside.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
That's
So,
the
right,
problem.
if
Archive all the videos.
and then you need something solar powered to run your power.
Right, because we
Right.
haven't
because-
really addressed the fact that this is not just the fact that we need skills to survive, but there's still no electricity.
Right. So you need, good old fashioned book.
Yeah.
Yeah, buy the children's for your car.
Yeah.
Book, what's that?
Right. you know that
It would shake really
I'd say
good
it's more
fast. You could always
children's for
burn
your-
them for fire.
you know that
Maybe Chilton's for your tractor.
yeah, your tractor, you know that manual you got with the generator, don't throw it away.
Right, yeah.
Right.
No doubt.
I mean, and
The destructions.
yes,
The destructions.
the destructions.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that a lot and common sense. I mean, and it sounds, don't laugh.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? Yeah, I mean, sometimes
I mean,
you just need some common sense.
yeah. Which, I mean, there's still common sense out there. I know we joke about it all the time, but there's experience and
I
growing
think that
and
a
you
lot of
learn it.
people have lost. I think common sense is like a declining thing. Things.
Well, it's because they're reliant on electronics
Or-
and reliant on something that they go, oh, I can rely on Google. I mean, before Google, I think you had more people who were self-reliant. But I mean, I knew people that were ridiculously book smart, had zero common sense. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
the person could take apart a 66 Mustang and put it back together in a day, but couldn't tell you anything about the world economic situation.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I don't even. But I mean, I don't think it has to go that far. I don't need common sense.
I hope she doesn't see that in what I said about her. By the way, she's a physicist.
So now she'll really know you're talking about her.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
But she's a wonderful, wonderful person.
She's a wonderful physicist.
Yeah.
She's just got no common sense at all.
Chemical engineer. Now I got it. No common
That's right.
sense.
Why don't you
Let's just say her name.
what's her name? What's her
Just say hi.
Hi, how do you doing?
Think it's that one, Mikey?
No,
Checking battery power.
Okay.
Because that would cause static as well.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I agree. Common sense is a very important thing, and
Yeah,
I mean, just
it-
being able to, being able to weigh and measure the situation that you're in,
Right.
and what you can do next. It doesn't always because
Well, there are a lot of things that you may not know. Meaning, okay, so you don't know how to build a trap.
okay,
Okay. But you can kind of figure out some stuff that might be dangerous if you use common sense.
yeah,
Right. To protect yourself. Make the dangerous thing over here and you behind it versus you in front of it. That's another part of common sense, right? You don't want to run to your trap.
Or you
But you may not.
the indigenous population of the Philippines and watch them make trips.
Right.
It's amazing.
But you can't, though. I'm saying, if you don't know something, if you kind of just use that common sense and maybe a bit of mechanical ability.
yeah,
You don't have to be the best mechanically inclined person to make something that, even to make yourself an alarm to know somebody has broke through an area.
yeah. I mean, tying cans to a string, that kind of thing,
Right.
is better than having nothing at all.
Exactly.
Right.
So, if you're capable to go, okay, so I've got some common sense and I've got these items to work with and I really don't know what the hell I'm doing, but what can I do with this? And broaden your little, I can string these cans together.
Yeah.
And then I'll just string it over there. And when somebody trips on my uncanned string, they'll pluck that,
Yeah.
You can do that and give yourself a better fighting chance. Because not everybody is an herbalist, not everybody's a hunter, not everybody's this, not everybody's that. And it would be great if you have the capability of sucking those people in.
What's funny that I just remembered about a friend of mine, his dad. Absolute genius, mechanically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
The guy was a trained mechanic, worked on cars, but would get bored really easy because I swear it's probably an early version of ADHD. But this guy could go from fixing your car or designing a brush truck for the fire department to making a pile of snow and carving out a snowman like Santa Claus The perfect form of Santa Claus. Halloween comes out and you have skeletons coming out of his ground.
Cool.
In his backyard was a 1/2 scale lunar landing module from the Apollo missions. I'm a kid, and this guy's got the lunar landing module in his
That's
backyard.
very cool.
Full, half size.
Yeah.
So, and his dad built it.
Wow.
It was a shame when they moved. They actually moved closer here now. But one day I saw half of it going on the road.
Yeah.
They took it with them.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap. But this dude is probably the quintessential, and he's still alive, as far as I know, the quintessential guy you need to have.
Right.
Because he can make something out of nothing practically.
Right.
I watched him do artwork. I watched him do sculpting. So I watched him do, any of those of you into model rocketry in the Estes Rocketry Corporation,
Yeah.
he made designs for them. That was just a hobby for
Wow.
him.
Yeah. Just something to do.
And that's wickedly cool. That's great, but I think that people, my parents' generation and the generation before that
Mhm.
would have been way better equipped than what we currently have. I mean, I had those certain skills passed down to me that early, the canning, the food preservation,
Right.
the hunting, the doing it on your own. But I think that a lot of people now don't have those skills handed down to them. I mean, how many people really get out in the garden with their kids now?
Right. Well, yeah.
The
I
simple
mean, I
thing.
did that as a kid, but
Yeah.
haven't done it since.
Right, but the thing, I mean, even having done it as a kid,
Mm.
at least you have some
Some
kind
kind of
of
understanding.
memory and
Right.
understanding and background of it,
Yeah.
and then, how many people take their kids fishing nowadays?
Mm-hmm.
You don't see as many. I mean, there are still people who do it,
Yeah.
but you don't see as many of them. Back when I was a kid, it was let's go pick strawberries, let's go get this, let's go do that, let's go hunting, let's get in the garden, let's can these tomatoes or these peaches or whatever it was. we
That's
had.
why the parents these days all
Even
have
meat.
different. That's why there's always these different names for the types of parents we have in these generations right now.
Yeah.
And the helicopter parents, and which is our generation, right?
And the hovering, yeah.
hovering,
Hovering ones.
Yeah,
I didn't
Won't let
have
the kids who
anything-
grew up. No, I'm just saying
Yeah.
in general, it's like the
Yeah, I think
children
that
of who grew up in the 80s, meaning our teenage formative years, who then started having kids. That's 32 years ago, 35 years ago.
right.
The way we started hovering over our children, present company excluded.
Yeah, I'm
what
like,
hap-
oh, you fell down, brush it off, you're fine.
Right.
that would have been me, but
Stop crying, I can't understand you.
right. But if you look at the studies, they all they would rather not see their child fail, so they do it for
Right.
them.
Right, and that's unacceptable
Right,
because
because we're screwed.
you have the easiest way to learn is to fail.
Yeah.
Because
Best way to learn. I
right,
mean,
because you screw up and you go, oh, where did I screw up at? And then you fix that issue.
right.
You screw up again, that might be a different issue. Okay, let me fix if that's something that you really need to do.
Yeah.
It's the best way to learn, in my opinion. There's no shame in a failure. It's
No,
just-
if you look in history, most people who have been greatly successful have failed many, many, many times before they ever got
right,
to the success that they were hoping for.
absolutely,
So, yeah, the only way to learn is to keep going and keep trying.
exactly. But,
So,
It kind of reminds me of Churchill. Where was it that he failed miserably during World War One? I don't remember. The charge of life against the Turks. That's when he was commander of the Navy in World War One, and he mucked up. And yet, next thing you know, 20 years later, he's prime minister, and he's winning World War II, and this, that, and the other. But when we got run out of politics, guy had nothing.
yeah.
He was living in a borrowed house.
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then you look at people like Chesty Fuller, we're surrounded. Good, I've got him right where I want him.
Yeah. Because you realize he's got 50 cals on the wings of the airplane, so let's just tilt them up. Whom I knew that family, knew them personally. That was kind of crazy. I did not know that, but I knew that family. I wrestled against his grandson, whipped his ass.
Oh, now there's going to be a comment because that guy's going to see it and be like, no, you did not. You didn't win.
Dude, you didn't win.
Bring it on again, buddy.
You lost twice. I did. I met Chesty's son,
Okay,
the wife, Toddy.
that's cool.
But yeah, the son was not exactly what was athletic. The grandson of Chesty.
Well, I hate to say it, but if you got Chesty Puller sitting in the background, you don't really need to be.
Yeah, and there's the problem right there.
Right.
You know?
And then there's the problem right there. I mean, and it's funny because I would say that no, I was not a helicopter parent, but there was nothing for me to be mowing the grass at 7 years old.
Right. Oh yeah.
My daughter tell you right now, she never mowed the grass.
Well, that's one of the things we were talking about with someone the other day. Is like, when we were kids, that's what we did. We got out in the yard and
Yeah.
And I learned how to drive by mowing the grass on a riding lawnmower. I mean, that was.
You got to ride lawnmower as a kid? Shit.
Well,
Not me.
we
Good
had
old push
both.
more, boy.
Yeah, we all had to push one.
It was a big farm.
I didn't have no. I'm in the
Road
suburbs,
tractor.
man. I was right in the suburbs.
Drove tractors and all that stuff.
You need somebody with strength. You need
Physical
strong
strength?
people.
I
Do all your
agree.
labor.
I agree with that and disagree with that because even, yes, it would be nice to have somebody who's got that strength, that, the ability to lift and pull and do everything like that. But if you know how to leverage things, you can do things that,
Dude, go pick up that big boulder and put it over here by the gate.
dude, I don't need that boulder. Not that bad. Oh, I do?
I don't think that having strong people is a bad thing, though, either.
No, it's not. And ultimately, though, in a survival situation, I assure you, you will become more physically fit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes it a skill that you either need or you will acquire.
Right. Well, you would want to start off, if you could, you'd want to start off relatively healthy, physically fit.
I'm screwed.
Yeah. It's a good point.
I will survive.
Cardio.
Cardio, big deal. Yeah, that's a big thing.
I mean,
I better start running now.
there's a lot of people who, that's just it. We're overestimating in regards of how much do you really need to do? Where are you in regards of, can I walk home? I can walk home. I can walk just about anywhere I need to walk,
Yeah.
from where I go.
I'm great at walking, but I'm not in shape in any way.
Well,
I'm just good at walking.
right, but if you can
But
walk,
eventually, you probably would get, like
Yeah.
you said, we
you're
probably
going to
get
get there.
One of us is going to get in shape. One of us is going to get dead, and we're going to figure out what first. You got your issues, I got my issues to deal with. We need this medication to not have issues. Except, I think one of yours, you get healthier, and you probably wouldn't need to be on it.
That's true.
Okay,
That's very true.
that's one way. Me, I could have a heart attack trying to get healthy without the medication. Because if you suddenly have no heart rate,
Yeah.
because electrically it says, and that's why I got to take the medication. Maybe that's why I should go get the other procedure done. So I don't have to be on medication.
We'll make him a taste tester.
Oh, guess what? You got the guy. It's like, he's got a bad heart. Yeah, let him do it.
I assume that was the food that killed him and not his heart.
Not his heart. He had this condition.
Mike, can you go see Jim for a minute? Hold on, wait. Did he take the aspirin today?
I guess I'm your huckleberry, right?
Well, I know we've missed a lot of skills that you probably want. I mean, but I think
We had more fun talking about this one.
Yeah.
I think the line of "Country Boy Will Survive."
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one to put.
I can fish. Yay, I'm saying.
That's in the Bible. So
Well, I'm sitting there thinking, what the hell, what skills do I have personally that I can contribute to a group?
Well,
Well, those are
fish.
big ones,
you
though.
can
That's a
fish,
big
and
one.
that's great. But the other thing is that you are very good at seeing the other way to do something. I
Oh,
mean,
you mean like killing somebody in their sleep? as
right,
opposed
like
to
killing
out-
someone in their sleep and making it
Yeah.
look like a suicide.
Right.
But I mean, in regards of building things, or if it's like, oh, I think it's going to work out well this way.
Don't tell people I know how to build things. I don't
Okay,
know how to
so he doesn't know how to build anything.
doesn't want to volunteer.
Anyway, I think we're good. How long have we been on today?
do it. We're at 54 minutes.
54 minutes. Wow.
Okay, should we go through the list again? What was the first one?
Sure, we want to be aware,
Situational awareness.
self-reliant.
Self-reliant.
We want to be able to have first aid,
First aid.
scavenging or foraging,
Scavenging, foraging, hunting,
hunting, building,
building,
common sense.
Common sense.
That wraps it all together right there.
Yeah.
Right.
Common
And
sense.
you really want to be able to garden and know how to take care of your food without refrigeration.
Yeah. I mean, and shelter, I mean, yeah, we were talking about building, but shelters just in general, and, you know, knowing that you cannot sleep out in the rain in the middle of the fall when it's
That's a
30
bad
degrees
idea.
outside.
Yeah,
That's a bad idea.
that's bad that's not
It's not
common sense.
sense.
That's not
So,
common sense.
yeah, I mean, really a lot of it is common sense. I mean, a lot
A lot
of
of
things, and I think we do know for a fact that some people are just going to die. Like they're just not
Like
going to be
90%
able,
of them are
Yeah.
going to die.
they're just not going to be able to keep up. They're not going to be, and a lot of them are not going to be willing to either. You know, they're just
Right. They're not going
Top
to
right corner.
be
this is
mentally
really
other
capable
screen.
of it.
this is-
Is that somebody top right corner of the screen? I saw that pop up. I didn't know if that.
Oh,
I didn't know if somebody was sending us in print.
Well, yeah, so people are going to die. People are going to give up.
Yeah.
And people are not going to make it. But those who do survive, those who are, you know, willing to fight and they want to live
Yep.
and they want to not just live, but like really live, you know,
Right.
because survival is just the beginning. You have to want to live for a purpose.
Yes.
And those people will find that they have more skills than they thought they did.
I
know?
agree. 100%.
I think I would be one of those people.
Yeah. I agree 100%.
Because I was just sitting there thinking, you know, an engineer would be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody who could think like an engineer
Right.
anyway.
Mm.
Because then you can
Yeah.
transport water. I mean, different ways to transport water.
Okay. A redneck will know that.
Really?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, you want to get the water to move from one place to another, and you need to get it moved away.
you
They're
get
like,
a
hey
move-
man,
you get
put
a
in a
move-
French drain.
You get a
Do this,
moonshiner.
do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, moonshiner. Hell yeah.
He knows what the good water is.
They have an engineering brain for sure.
So you're going to know how to turn a generator into
I know people who will tell
a
you
water
that,
powered generator.
and probably I know people who will tell you that an engineer is overpaid and undereducated just for a stamp, and they don't even know they don't have the common sense. They got the book smart.
Yeah, but yeah.
Right. So.
I mean, that's
But those are the people who put the hands on, kind of like when you
It's a
train
lot of-
somebody like to do, if you are a medic or a police officer, or well, maybe not a police officer, they've got a different group thing that they have to work inside. But definitely if you're a medic, a lot of times you learn, okay, here's the book. You hit the street, it don't work that way.
Mhm.
You know, so an engineer never hits the street. It's the contractor or the actual builder or the actual person putting it together who hit the street. So I've heard plenty of those guys go, yeah, I could draw this out or do this, but you got to have an engineer with a degree put their stamp on it to get it approved.
Okay, but
So you don't necessarily need an engineer. You want somebody with that mind.
Right.
I got you.
thinks like an engineer can do.
Right.
That. I mean, like a chemical engineer would be good.
And
A chemical engineer would be good. How do you think all the medications get made?
Well, I understand that, but are you going to have the capability to make those medications? What you want in this case is an herbalist.
Or a chemical engineer that can make it happen.
But
You're
you
gonna have to have
got
machinery to bring
to
stuff
find
down.
with common sense, and I don't have one though.
Right. Right. And they need, you know, their laboratories and the power for their laboratories. They need the refineries. They need all sorts of stuff that you would not be
I
able to
don't
give
know.
them.
I don't know. I mean, like, I
They
agree.
just build it
Now, if you got a guy who makes meth,
Oh, that's a redneck too. That's another redneck. It's just a different.
you just
form
got
of
to get him
redneck.
to stop making meth and start making Tylenol.
I'm sensing a racial bias against engineers for some reason. I think engineers are awesome.
Well,
No, they are.
well,
They are.
And see, I've got.
Unless it's a civil engineer, in which case that's $4.95.
Right, well, I've got. In my family, there's an engineer. There's an architect. Happen to be brothers. Happen to be my uncles. And so you put those two together, everything works.
Mm-hmm.
Always one's designing it,
So you
one's
got your
putting.
builder and you got your engineer.
Right, and I've seen the architect do things because he was told it couldn't be done, so he did it on his own house.
Mhm.
He had ideas that he was going to put, present to customers and stuff like that. Going, hey, I'm going to use this type of material, and I'm going to bend it in a certain way, and they're going, it can't be done. And they go, come to my house. And they go, there it is. And they go, son of a bitch. So 35 years ago, 40 years ago, people were going, you can't curve drywall without it snapping. He figured out a way to curve drywall, and he did it in his bathroom. And I'm like, that's a big piece of plywood that is actually curved. He goes, now I went through 3 of them, to make that
How about
happen.
that failure?
I had failure.
to
Failure.
success.
But see,
I had
in a
success
way,
part.
the architect did this.
Yeah.
So in a way, he had a basic knowledge of chemical engineering because I'm sure that he did it with heat and steam.
That was definitely part of it. And then outside of it in his garage, he's got a 71 Dino Ferrari that he's doing a complete rebuild from top to bottom. He's doing it. Little jackass.
Yeah. As civilization starts to come up from the ashes, well, you will need more and more different types of people who
Sure.
have different types of.
You probably lose
Skills
that in
and-
that amount of time, though. I mean, I hate to say it, but you're just
I
gonna have to
mean,
redo it.
We got to hear somehow, you know.
Aliens.
Wow.
That's another program.
Oh
a
no,
whole
wait,
other
no.
show.
We're at 1 hour. I think we're
Okay,
good.
so anyway,
And with that,
Because that's a whole
That's a whole
different
other
podcast.
Well, who would be the person? Because we just discussed different types of people that you would want in this group that you would think would make a core group that could then make things continue.
Right.
Meaning progress coming from nothing to maybe we've got a town that actually works. So you've got the right type of people. Out of all those people, here's just a scenario because it just dawned on me that I thought it was kind of silly. In a movie, the person that they, out of the core group of criminals, a criminal enterprise, you almost want a criminal enterprise to keep your core group together and people not mucking with you. I'm going with Scarface. The person they protected the most next to what was his name?
Tony Montana. Tony Montana.
The real Scarface.
Oh,
The real what?
The real Scarface from Chicago.
Oh,
Capone.
Scarface.
Capone.
Capone. Yeah, Al Capone.
Yeah.
The person they protected the most, secondary to Capone, was the accountant.
Yeah.
Who would you protect the most out of that group? Just hypothetically.
It's funny. I was just thinking about it as you were kind of developing that. I was thinking, you know, every town needs a banker at some point. So
Somebody's got
to man. I mean, not money, but you got to manage the storehouse. You know, basically.
Yeah, I can
You
see
need a-
that.
you need
The
a
currency
supply
would
clerk.
be nothing at
Yeah.
that point.
Supply clerk.
An accountant would be pointless, but yeah, somebody to manage your wares, your stuff, your storage. I think it'd have to be more than one person.
And I think we're getting pretty far into how far along you've gotten, though. We're just talking about the skills you need to.
Yeah, to get it to
Get there.
to year one, you need to be able to make it to year one, and I'm at like year 10.
Right. So I mean, it's kind of.
So you need somebody that can do some math.
I know, man.
So we got this big piece of deer meat here, and we're going to divide it into 20 pieces, and
Okay.
20
So
divided by
anyway,
4
guys.
plus a cow.
Plus a cow.
Wait, minus the dude that's dying tonight in his sleep.
There's always that guy.
That guy.
The guy who quit suicide while he sleeps.
Okay, so in suicide break note, in 2 weeks we're gonna talk about all the people who died and why. And
Yeah.
And it's funny because
90%
throughout
of
our
Americans
episodes,
will
we've actually
die.
touched on it.
well, I mean that's a big thing about it. And a lot of people are gonna die,
90%.
and that's something to understand and kind of accept. I mean, in the regards of if the shit hits the fan,
Mikey, what is 90% of 350 million? Anybody?
really,
I do math.
I've been mad. Yeah.
So like 3.5 million left?
No, one of us is dead. Let's put it
Well,
that way.
well, that means 10% is left, but 350 million is 35 million people.
Okay. I guess.
90% of what?
Of 350 million. Which really is 10% of 350 million. Which should be 35 million people left.
There's a lot more space.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot more space.
Yeah, but cities are going to be uninhabitable for quite a while.
You got no water.
Backed up sewer, dead bodies.
Yeah. That'd be the last place I want to go.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're ready to be part of a cleanup crew.
Yeah, last place I want to go. Just ask the Chernobyl guys.
So, okay, anyway, I'm going to try this again.
Signing off is so hard to do.
It's been fun, guys.
It's been real fun. Well, what is it? What's the damage?
Google was
Anyway,
messing
like I
with me.
said, everything's going to get updated probably this evening. it's tomorrow. More will happen. We'll be back in 2 weeks talking about why everybody's dead. Everybody's dead. Not everybody's dead.
Almost everybody's dead.
And again, we're moving off of Patreon. We're going to go ahead and put our own donate button on there. You can help us out. That would be absolutely fantastic. You're going to see a phone number come up. If you will just check our website at www.watershed, all one word Z, all one thing, no dots, no nothing, just watershedz.com. Feel free to email us, contact us any way, shape, or form. We love hearing from you. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter.
2 more episodes and we're back to Break Channel.
We've got 2 more episodes, and then Break Channel 13 comes back. And oh God, I'm a little concerned about that dude, Flynn and Gabe. They're they're pretty upsetting.
They're a bunch of assholes.
They'll get over it. Or they won't.
Or they won't.
Or they'll kill us. Anyway, have a great 2 weeks, guys. Thanks.
All right. We are out of here.